The way death came, death did not need to ask permission from God. Should I enter the earth? The moment Adam sinned, he opened the door for death. This is how men who are sleeping outside of their matrimonial bed and think that they are hiding, they have no idea the doorway they have opened over their family. I counsel people every week, and I see people pretending like they are actually sad and repentant, and I can see that the whole of this attack came into the family on account of the recklessness of a man. He opened the door. Now, this is exactly what you get when ordinances are violated, because marriage is of God, and it is God that instituted it. When you violate the ordinance, you invite spirits who come. What they do normally is to accuse believers. They accuse us perpetually before God, and so the moment you violate it, you trigger something in the spirit that attracts them to come and enforce the justice of darkness. Holiness, righteous living remains the best way of life. Now, since you know that no spirit has the kind of body that man has, that gives him his legitimate claim to live in this space, it means that you should be conscious that perpetually spirits will be seeking to have access to a body. Let me state this and hold it dear to your heart. There are more spirits than there are human bodies. There are more spirits roaming. There is an accommodation challenge with spirits. They are looking for houses. The agents are few. If an agent carry a spirit to show him you and say, this one is self-contained. What they are telling him is that you gravitate regularly towards iniquity, and that it is easy to possess you. So that this one is part of the houses that is under my care. Then the prince will say, no, nah, duplex are the fine. I know one. I know one. What I go do with self-contained? See, even Satan can do younger for some people. When Satan tried to use you and he realized that you are too lazy, he's trying to wake you up to go and seduce men, and you are still sleeping. You just say, look, see, we cannot, there's little or nothing we can do. So he will tell the agent, please look for another faithful house, a house that know what they are doing. Now those ones are like duplex. Are we together? Yes, sir. Now, this is how spirits can carry other spirits and say, if you need a place to stay, that one a hotel. So that one is not for permanent residency. It's for spirits that are just passing by. A spirit that they casted out, that is under accommodation challenge, he can spend 2 weeks inside you. No spirit want to stay long inside. They know that this is not we can't do anything long term here. If you want to know the litmus test to discern the things I've shared with you in a parable, when you find out that your life has a multiple assortments of various compromise, changing from time to time, and all of them have capacity to bind your soul, guys, know that you are like a hotel. Any spirit can use you momentarily, but you are like that pig that the demoniac of Gadara entered and said, I refuse to live here. And what he did was that he didn't plan to stay long inside the pig, so he brought the pig to the end of the mission, which is death. Oh, I met an old prostitute. She has practiced the trade for long. The spirits that recruited her, they found her in her youth, when all her body parts were still accurate for that adventure. But when she has spent her years in vanity, and they found out that the body is no longer conducive for that trade, you know what this spirit started to do? they began to open the door for spirits of infirmity to be entering her, because they wanted to finish the job so that they can go to another body. And no spirit can actually close that file until it has brought his host into death. The end of that case is death. If death has not happened, if they cast the spirit out, it will go around and still say, I will go back to my house. The only time he stopped calling you my house is when you die. This is why the Bible says, no man that warreth. It means if any spirit has ever momentarily lived inside you, it means your whole life must be spent in war, because it will be coming back. But it will not come alone. It will come with 7 more wicked spirits. It will go and strengthen itself and return. Meanwhile, when it comes back and you are still on the altar because you knew that all is not well, sin is like weed. You don't need to plant it, it will grow. As long as you know that there's an appetite, something that is trying to grow in you to contradict the prophecy of God over your life, it means you will live battle conscious, battle ready. You cannot be careless. You cannot lose guard. Now, in keeping with this, you then realize that as long as you did not make room for the devil, there is little or nothing spirits can do as it pertains to using your vessel to advance the cause of rebellion. Now, since you know these things, the devil will now begin to explore other routes. Knowing that he cannot dominate your will and possess you and use you, he waits for many people in the junction of marriage. Because inside marriage, there is a mystery that makes two to become one flesh. Meaning that I know we were not able to catch you throughout your youth. I know you were able to abstain from all the corruption that your generation fell for. What we will do is that we will start focusing on a sister and allow her do everything that we wanted you to do. Then we will now bring both of you together in the point of marriage. Are we together? I know why you are not answering me. I know why. You see, when people start feeling guilty, they will be angry with the person who is making them feel guilty. Do you think me, I don't like fine girls? Do you know why I have not said hi to any of you? I know that spirits are hiding. There are spirits that they have vowed that if they can catch me for 1 minute, that if it's just 2 seconds. Do you know that there are people that have lived inside darkness for 40 years and no harm came to them? But a righteous man just fall for only 2 minutes. What Satan will achieve with that 2 minutes? Somebody is sleeping in the club, sleeping around, living loosely. Nothing is wrong with her. A righteous sister fell only 1 day. That day Satan put HIV in her body. That same day she became pregnant. He made sure that we know we will not see you again. So this time that we see you, we will achieve everything we can achieve. Do you know how many spirits are angry with me? I have made spirits cry in Botswana. They shouted in Zambia. When I was in Cameroon, they screamed. So just imagine international spirits looking and sending report to Nigeria, help us. Then me, I now say, make I just fall small. Hi. When temptation knocks on the door, I imagine spirits peeping. Have you seen somebody hide behind the wall and you just see only this eye like this? Sometimes I laugh. I know they are waiting for me. They will not see me. The idea is that they know that as long as you keep the law of God, there is little or nothing they can do over your vessel. So they begin to occasion seasons around your significant order. This is why the patriarchs and many senior men in the faith continue to re-emphasize the need to be careful in the spouse you marry. The moment somebody said, if you marry the devil's daughter, Satan becomes your father-in-law. It means he has a spare key to your house. You can just be sleeping and you will hear Satan, he came. You see, his daughter is there. I think it was Apostle Edu that was sharing something in one teaching. He said, a pastor married a witch. Now, I don't know how he's a pastor. But it came to pass that he married a witch and he didn't know. So on a day, I think they were arguing or something. I've forgotten the details of the story. They were arguing and she just wanted to show him something. So he was arguing with her in the parlor. He was arguing with her. Then he now versed and turned to walk into the bedroom. He now went to meet her there. She was waiting for him there. That one is just... So who were you shouting for in the parlor again? Holy, you are holy. Blessed is he who comes in the name of our God. Hosanna, Hosanna. Blessed is he who comes in the name of our God. Now that you know that sin and iniquity can predispose you to demonic influence, it means that when you are tempted, know that there is much at stake. It's not just about gaining money. You can carry that money and devourer will be exposed to your bloodline. Then you will now realize that you are holding a lot of money, but you cannot remember anything valuable you are doing with it. Meanwhile, the little that the righteous has, amen, the little that the righteous has, it covereth much. Then the massive increase that the unrighteous man entered through iniquity, it continues to fizzle away like wind in his hand. This is what the great teacher called chasing after the wind. Let me share something with you. Please hold it dear to your heart. Among many things that predisposes our generation to sin, money stands chief among them. The love for money. And many people have no business being a millionaire. And I know many people don't like what I've said. You are like a time bomb. There are many things inside you waiting for the right level of resources to be triggered. Some of you, you don't even know your working step yet. There is a kind of money that will enter your account. You will become very sensitive to respect. You will just be working and say, you know, I'll be great. The reason why you are now so sensitive, that I know a man, he was a faithful husband until God multiplied his substance. Suddenly, his wife was not fine for him again. This is the same woman that stood by him, the same woman that satisfied him, because there are appetites. This is why when you see men crying and say, Lord, when would you answer me? Lord, when would you turn my situation around? Sometimes God is saying, because I love you, because I don't want you to perish in damnation, allow me follow you small. See, if you have food to eat, you can pay your bills without needing to disturb anybody. You have clothes, and you can actually settle the accommodation you live in. Be contented. Actually, the Bible summarized this matter I'm trying to talk about. It says righteousness, godliness, with contentment is great gain. If your purpose, your destiny, which is your God-given role to play in the affairs of men, does not require much wealth to advance it, you have no business looking for wealth. You have no business looking for wealth. It will lead you astray.